Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Gabby, JJ get invited by Johnny because she now wants to sit there and throw a party. Which, by the way, I just want to sit there and just laugh about the fact that she started inviting all these people to come to this party, but yet she didn't bother to sit there and check with the man who actually owns the property. Is it okay? She did that like towards the middle of the episode after she invited a bunch of people to um, his mansion at this point. I love how I said thing called his mansion. And in reality, you really think about a mansion. What do you think about? You think about servants, you think about security. And yet somehow Rafe was able to sit there and just walk right on it. I did find it very funny that she did it mid sentence. Oh yeah, by the way, and of course this is when Bella's there. And after EJ comes up from the tunnel, she wants to sit there and say, hey, listen, just let you know, I'm not here to sit there and gloat about you being fired, but I am going to be your replacement. And I just want to, want you to find out through me before you find out through somebody else. Of course, the entire episode is more of a hilarity because she never does get to sit there and actually say it. Now, there's a point when she's trying to tell him, and Chanel comes downstairs, and Chanel's like, "Oh, just to let you know, me and Johnny decided to do a party, and I know I didn't sit there and ask you, but I invited some people from the cast of the show, and I hope it's okay." Well, if it's not, then what are you gonna do? EJ already was like, "Yo, listen, this is a trying day," and of course, Chanel just keeps just until he's like, okay, fine, whatever. Because there's a point where she wants to go downstairs and, get some champagne, but of course, there's Rafe Body down there. So he's all like, oh, you know what, listen, I'll go get it for you. You got to get ready for the party. Just kind of just reassuring that, he's cool with this, party that he did not know was going to wind up happening. And of course, she does sit there and invite Bill because, well, why not? Just invite her too. Invite her. Johnny invites Rafe. I guess he invites Rafe because he thinks that Rafe and his dad is working together on some sort of case, and just invites Jada because they're dating. So why not? Now Jada is about to sit there and say, you know what? I don't really think it's a good idea. But Rafe, of course, it's not really Rafe. It's Arnold. Rafe, who has not been acting like Rafe since he sat down, just decides, hey, I'm going to invite me and her to this party. Now, Jada looks at him like, what the And afterwards, she's like, yo, listen, I just was the one that told you that I pretty much spearheaded this man being fired. And he already seems like he has it out. He's already probably going to have it out for me. And you just invited me to his lair, essentially. Now, Arnold's, and I gotta sit there and call him Arnold because if I call him Rafe at some point, I'm gonna get confused. Arnold is like, listen, it's about breaking bread and this, that, and the third, and plus I want to sit there and show off my beautiful, sexy wife and everything. And she just goes along with it, but at this point, she is noticing some stuff off. Like, there's a point where he calls her boo, he's dressing different, he apparently spilled coffee all over himself to the point where he didn't feel like going home to change, so he just decided to buy a whole new wardrobe right then and there. Something that Rafe would totally not do, as well as the way that he's talking. So throughout most of this episode, whenever she's with hell, there's a point when the ball drops and he kisses her so awkwardly that you can see the look on her face like, what the But of course, she kisses him back because, I don't know. It just, my water. It just needed to happen. Now, at some point, um, they're at the hospital. Alex and Joy just finished shooting a scene, and they were talking about how intense it was and everything. And Chanel comes over, and Chanel invites Joy. Joy, who still doesn't actually have a backbone yet to sit there and say no, like a grown ass adult. decides, okay, fine, I'll go, whatever. And then she's like, well, I'll go if Alex goes with me. And I'm like, why are you pulling him into this mess at this point? But at this point, Alex is like, all right, fine, whatever. She doesn't even sit there and apologize for that because she knew damn well when she said that, the look in his face was like, why are you inviting me? And of course, Chanel was like, I thought it was going to be awkward since, that one time that you and him kind of, had that afternoon, night, blank, blank, blank going on. But Joy's like, nah, listen, we're cool and everything like that, so, whatever. And Chanel's happy, so, she leaves. And of course, Alex is still not happy. He's like, listen, I don't like being caught up in Johnny's BS. I think he should just man up, told you the truth, and, just dealt with the consequences. Now, eventually they do come to the house, and before they come to the house, Johnny says something that's really funny. Johnny's like, after hearing the guest list, and of course him inviting Gabby and JJ, he's like, well, my dad's just gonna have to get used to being around people that he's uncomfortable with. He opens the door, he sees Joy and Alex, and I gotta sit there and say, that was just so satisfying to watch. It really was. Now, of course, him and Chanel wound up, smashing or whatever. Pretty much, I was like, bro, you better enjoy that because that's gonna be the last time that happens. Um, Philip comes over to pick up Stephanie. And long story short, Stephanie has to work. Cast and crew are going to be sent there at that party, and she wants to make sure nothing else goes down. So this way, she doesn't have to sit there and try to do more of her job as far as spinning whatever nonsense is going to end up happening there. But she invites Philip there. And Philip's like, wait, wait. You invited me to the Damaris place? Really? You invited me to EJ's. And, he's like, EJ hates me. Stephanie's like, well, EJ hates a lot of people. Yeah, but, you know that he hates Philip. Now, I guess you want to sit there and spend some time with him, because, when you're working and stuff like that, it is kind of hard to sit there and try to find time to sit there and spend time with someone. It's not to say you can't do it, but it's not always easy. So if you could sit there and, I guess in her head, if you could sit there and try to find some sort of time, work, event kind of thing, you might as well sit there and squeeze it in. But she does sit there and say, hey, listen, I understand if you don't want to go, that's totally fine. And to be honest, I think that Philip should have probably been like, I'm going to pass. Now, JJ, he does want to go. JJ and Gabby wasn't too sure about going at one point. She said something about it being haunted or whatever. I'm like, why are you trying to make this sound so much more cryptic than what it really is? You don't like EJ, you blame EJ for your shitty ass decisions, and you're also upset that Stefan left. Why don't you just say that? Of course you can't say that. She's Gabby. Because, Gabby is immature, to sit there and put it lightly. But she does decide to go because she wants to stick it to EJ. And JJ's like, alright, cool, I'll follow your lead. So they get there, and EJ sees them. EJ sees Jada, and it's like, what are you doing here? And he just gives her the most meanest ugmug look possible. And of course, he sees Gabby. He's like, who invited you here? Gabby's like, your son did. So, they look at each other, they give the dirty stares or whatever, and then they go get some drinks and stuff. And the whole time, even before this episode happened, I was like, how the hell are these people at this man's house? I couldn't understand it until I realized that it was, well, let's be honest, it was more Chanel and Johnny just happens to also invite people. There was a bit of awkwardness with Alex and Stephanie. He spilled a drink on her. At some point, the clock strikes 12, and he watches Stephanie and Philip kiss and everything, and he's all mad and upset or whatever. And I'm like, you can just probably go out with Joy. I mean, She ain't bad looking. Why not? At one point, when Stephanie found out that Alex was going to the party with Joyce, she seemed like she was a little unhappy. I'm like, don't do that. You're out with Philip. You don't get to sit there and be mad and jealous. You don't get to do that. Okay? That little frown that you got going on, turn that shit upside down. Okay, put on your little party dress and go out there and party like it's 1999. I want to sit there and say, no, you being upset. You did this. So you deal with it. That is generally about it for the most part. There wasn't really a lot of and EJ running into Ray. I mean EJ running into Arnold, being like, "What the hell are you doing here?" The usual. Let's be honest. It's kind of a comedy routine at this point with those two. So other than that, there wasn't really a lot that wound up happening. Now, if I missed anything, and I know I probably missed a couple of things, write in the comment section, or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be talking about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. I'll see you in the next video.